No matter how hard they fought or how hard they played, it was always just too much of an uphill battle for Barney Hester's Howard Huskies. This year, though, a little bit different for Howard. They're actually enjoying the view from the top of the Region 2 4A standings. Poison, it's toxic. It is bad luck to even talk about it. So let's not discuss the rankings. Let's just take them and... There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And that movie sort of reminds me of this Mercer women's basketball team. They got the brains, they got the heart, and they got the courage. Now all they need is to go home. Who really needs the club? Let's just go to the bar across the street. That bar is the NIT, and for Georgia Tech, there's no cover. There's a couple rules to follow when you step in Kevin Kerr's locker room. 1, expect to win every night. 2, play a 200-foot game. And 3, never step on the logo. Vanderbilt head football coach Derek Mason has suspended 3 players, including Northside alum Tay Daly, for their alleged involvement in a shooting that happened Monday night in Nashville. In big games, Kalen Riley has played well. Like most freshmen would wilt in those situations at Auburn, against Wofford, against Chattanooga, on the road at the Citadel. He has played well. You know, this is always one of my favorite times of the year, and that's saying something because we're a week into sweeps. And to the viewer, I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but to us newsies, it is a busy time of the year.
From 5 areas, I shoot 30 shots each. Add that up to like every day, then it's like, what, 1,580.
It's the repetition and work ethic that make Jordan Kozlowski so great. Every day, same routine.
I'm not concerned about how many points I get. To me, basketball is more than that.
And good luck trying to stop her.
Are you physical?
Yes, I can be very physical.
I've taped every game she's had since 2nd grade. After the accident, you wonder as a parent how much impact that's going to have on a child's life.
When they ask me, what sport do you play? I'd say wheelchair basketball. I like to put wheelchair in there because it's a part of me.
Jordan is a rising star in the wheelchair basketball scene, being the youngest player on the U.S. women's national team.
Through the accident and through the tragedy, so many great things have happened in her life.
Still, what if?
There are some times where I do wish I had stand-up basketball.
The lost opportunity.
The doctor was coming out of the operating room telling us how sorry he was.
Traces back to a day more than a decade ago.
I have lost my leg, left leg, in a lawnmower when I was 2.5 years old. My dad, he didn't see me, and he backed up over me, shredded my left leg completely. I flatlined twice.
All they could do was tie off her artery to keep it from bleeding out.
14 years later, Jordan embraces her darkest hour.
You can't redo it. It's permanent. Like, I can't just go and find another leg in the store.
With her positive attitude and success brings Mike peace of mind.
As a parent, when you see that after the accident and the tragedy, it's just nice to know that, you know, there's a bright side to it all.
It doesn't come down to the skill. It comes down to who wants it more and who has more in the gas tank to go the long way.
Don't be mistaken. There's a lot more to Chase Boutwell's game.
Very technical.
Heart and drive.
Work ethic.
Naturally gifted.
If you ask the amateur MMA star what separates him,
Man, every time I step in the octagon, I'm the toughest guy in the octagon.
not only does he have the heart, he owns that it factor.
He's willing to do everything that nobody wants to do during the fight.
That never quit attitude and hard work led Chase to becoming the youngest UMMAF amateur champion.
Win it was even better, man. I can't explain the feeling.
We're on the right slope, going in the right direction, on the right mountain.
As he works, his inspiration sits ringside.
I'm so nervous. Half the time it looks like I'm playing an instrument.
Every time I've been dropped, I think about my mom, and quitting's never entered her mind.
Because mom is enduring her own fight.
I've had MS since I was 24 years old.
To see her go through that battle, it's tough, but she's a fighter just like he is.
Through her battle with multiple sclerosis, her toughness is passed on.
She can go through MS and having 8 brain surgeries. I can definitely go through, fight through whatever I'm going through.
And that motivation packs a powerful punch.
That flame that he has and the drive that he has, that he kind of carries from home to here, I don't think it'll ever burn out.
With his arm raised symbolizing his victory, the Boutwells became winners in more ways than one.
It's the one moment my mom, she doesn't have MS, she doesn't have hydrocephalus. Everything was perfect, man, and I'm glad I could bring that moment to my parents, to me, and anybody else who's cheering for me.
Soft coverage. Ryan airs it out all alone. Juggled. Incomplete. Jones wide open. And he dropped it.
Look, I've watched the play like 50 times, and I still ask myself the same question. How did he not catch it? Look, we know it was a routine throw from Matt Ryan, and we also understand players are going to make mistakes from time to time. But look, this is not an ordinary receiver. This is Julio Jones we're talking about here, people. If you still can't grasp the severity of the situation, hopefully these numbers will help clear things up. Since coming into the league in 2011, Jones consistently been one of, if not, the NFL's top receiver based on the numbers. Now, we understand that if Jones makes that catch, Atlanta's likely not going to lose that game at Carolina on Sunday. But are we missing the bigger picture? Julio's only found the end zone once this year. So is that a sign that something's wrong with double singles?
Forget it, man. You know, let's get to the next one. I mean, that's it. I mean, 100 out of 100 times he's going to make plays. He's made more plays in this league than probably anybody. And so sometimes it happens. I ain't worried one bit about it. We had other opportunities, too.
Sunday's infamous incompletion was Julio's first drop in the end zone in 5 years. So we know Julio, there's nothing wrong with him. The guy can catch, and we know in the area right here, Georgia quarterback Jake Fromm can throw. Over 12,000 passing yards at Houston County. He finished his career at Hoco, a legend, and that narrative is now following suit in Athens, but not everyone is on board. Let's go back 2 weeks. Before the big game in Jacksonville, Florida defensive back Chauncey Gardner basically said, this guy's not special. Anyone can throw a slant. Well, not your quarterback, Chauncey, and Georgia ended up winning that game 42-7. Then last week, South Carolina safety Chris Lamon said, Georgia can run, but they can't pass. Like Herman Boone said, remember the Titans, I don't scratch my head unless it itches, and I don't tap my foot unless I hear some music. You want to say Jake Fromm can't throw? Show me the numbers. He's played in 9 college games, and already he's leading the SEC in QBR and yards per attempt. That got good enough for you? He's top 4 in both completion percentage and touchdown passes. And oh yeah, not to leave this out, he's still unbeaten as a starter. And we can talk numbers all day, but his coach, loving those intangibles.
Beginning of the year, he's done well with decision-making. I think playing in the Notre Dame environment was really good for him because that was one of the tougher environments. Early in the Tennessee game was that way. But he continues to improve each day. He's not intimidated by the moment. And I think that comes a lot from his upbringing and just his competitive nature.
Now, Fromm leads the nation's #1 team at Jordan Hare Stadium Saturday against rival Auburn for a 3:30 kick. And let's not forget about this. He's a true freshman leading the #1 team in the country to an undefeated record. He's not bad, guys.
Yeah,
he can play.
Yeah.